I like this one.
Let's fucking go. I told you motherfuckers what CES is. It is an annual trade show, and it is typically used to present new products and technologies. Everybody basically stated it is impossible for Sony to actually release any information about the PS5. And I asked everybody, why? Why is it impossible? I told people specifically why it was possible that they would do some shit like that. And the reason is Sony is a totally different company now. Now they see that the actual PS5 is as valuable as any branch, if not more valuable, than all of the branches that they have. So of course they were going to announce some shit like this. Of course, this is the reason why they announced it. Now let's take a look at the breakdown of these specs. It's not that much to go by, but it is enough. Now the specs that they have here, this is sold through, just to let you know. This is not like actual bundled, you know, I mean not bundled, but like this is not like in retail stores or anything like that. 106 million PS4s have been sold. They are in customers' hands. You can't say that the PS4 broke and they repurchased it like the Xbox 360 or the PS3. This shit is actually purchased, right? So you got that shit going on. 1,150,000,000 PS4 games sold. This is including what is this including? This is including digital and actual physical copies. Also, active users, monthly active users, 103 million active users. This is not to say that they are subscribed to PlayStation Plus, but that lets you know that number is super fucking close to the 106 million. So people are using it. They are literally using it. And last but not least, 38.8, which went up a little bit, million PlayStation Plus subscribers, right? Not everybody's going to purchase PlayStation Plus. Not everybody's going to do it. And there's a good reason as to why. Some people don't play multiplayer games. Some people don't want to pay for it. It's too expensive. Who knows, whatever the fucking reason is. But that's the numbers that they actually showed. And it's important. It lets you know that how powerful the brand is and that the PlayStation isn't going anywhere. That is too many people that invested in that platform. And this is what Sony wanted. This is what anybody would want. They want you to buy into that ecosystem. People were afraid. Even I was a little bit afraid, ain't gonna lie to you. I was like, oh shit. Why are they actually releasing why are they releasing games on other consoles or doing this multi-platform or putting it on PC and shit like that? And it all comes full circle. Whoever's running Sony right now, they are some smart ass motherfuckers. They are smart as shit. Because here's the thing that I was thinking, and I don't know if I should say it now, but you know what, fuck it, I'll say it now. Because there's other topics that I want to bring up. People were actually curious as to why they even released any information on the PlayStation 5, okay? People were just wondering. They didn't get it. It was like, well, I don't understand why you would release the PlayStation 5 if, you know... Oh, I'm sorry, release PlayStation 5 at CES. That's not the platform. And you're right, it is not the platform. It isn't the platform to release a full-fledged presentation. Okay? And the reason why it's not, because they have other things to show, which ties into what I believe that they're doing, right? So I think that they're smart. They knew that there's 106 million people that are hyped for the PlayStation 5. And any more so that, because that's the most recognizable brand that Sony has right now. So any piece of nougat, any nougat of any information, people were thirsty and clamoring for that shit. So what they done is they gave you a morsel of PS5 information, and then they gave you all the other shit that they were making. A fucking PlayStation car, and that's what they're doing now. And I told people this. I'm, all things Sony. I was like, if Sony ever made a car, I'd be down for it. You turn on the car, you start the engine, it's like, whoop. I'm like, okay, it makes a little PS3 or PS2 sound. Or when you start it up, it makes that fucking PS1 sound. That shit will be lit. But anyway, I personally was interested in that shit. You know what I'm saying? But all those people watched it and doing live reactions to their CES. Now everybody knows all the different products that they have, all because they Trojan horse the PS5 information. So yes, now you know about the other products that Sony has to offer all in one fucking shot, and you still didn't let your cards out. That shit is fucking ingenious. That is ingenious. You can't get mad at it. And what I want to talk about now is the specs for the PlayStation 5. We already knew about it. Now, they showed a little bit of information on the PlayStation 5, which is interesting. They stated 3D audio, right? Or 3D audio sound, excuse me. Haptic adaptive triggers, ultra high speed solid state drive. We're looking at hardware based ray tracing and ultra Blu-ray capable. That way you can store, I believe, 50 gigabytes of information. Or maybe 100. I think it's 100 gigabytes of information. You're going to need that shit for high resolution textures. So we're going to break this apart here, right? First and foremost, the 3D audio. Now, Guerrilla Games kind of pioneered some of this information. They do have ray tracing in the Killzone game, if you didn't know. But they use ray tracing for the audio, and they also use it for the lighting. So, or the material rendering that's in the game. So basically, they have physically based rendering for the materials. So metal things, metal surfaces look like metal surfaces, plastic surfaces look like plastic surfaces, etc. You can go and look this shit up on your own, right? All right, fine, whatever. But this allows for you to tag how sound will react if it bounces off of that surface. So if you have a metallic surface, you can play Killzone Shadowfall. It's like $5 or $3, who knows what it is, and you can shoot your gun in a metal area versus open world area versus a wooden area, and it makes the appropriate sounds. They have a filter that sounds tinny for metallics, open for open world, or adds reverb to it and shit like that. And they trace these sound waves, quote unquote, and that's how they are able to do it. Now they're taking it a step further. They had a headphone that could do 3D audio, and I think this is going to be, it's going to transform it's going to be built into the controller. Who knows? I think that's what they're going to do. It's going to be any headphones that will be able to do 3D audio, especially because you don't need a special speaker. You just need the programming for 3D audio to make that work. They still have the 40 millimeter drivers or speakers for headphones. That's the typical measurement for them. So you don't need anything crazy about that. All right, cool. So there's that. And then, give me 1 second. You have the haptic adaptive triggers. We don't know anything about that shit right now. All we know is that it looks to be, and I don't know, but it looks to be, it changes the resistance for the triggers for bow and arrows and shit like that. That's obviously Horizon Zero Dawn. Ultra high speed solid state drive. We already know that's going to be super fast. They have some sort of proprietary thing. It'll be very interesting to see if it be compatible with existing hardware or existing solid state drives or SSDs, excuse me. Hopefully it is that they have like some sort of delegation chip that works in tandem with the solid state drive that allow for that faster loading and stuff like that. We don't know, but they keeping all this close to their chest because they know that the console business is very fucking important to them. Realize that. We already talked about hardware-based ray tracing. So this is confirmation. There was a lot of people that believed that there isn't any hardware-based ray tracing, and even if, which we just found out too, the AMD releases like fake specs, not really fake specs, but they throw people off. So if anything leaks, you will never find that shit out. You know what I mean? All that shit is internal, and plus to be able to see where the leaks are coming from too, if the information gets out. So that's why it's not dangerous. But let's just say if it was true, right? They have a proprietary ray tracing unit that's in there that will probably make up the other bulk of the teraflops. So maybe it is 9.2 teraflops, but they also have another processor that handles ray tracing, which is probably its own teraflops as well. So that's something that you need to think about in general. And I think that's it. I'm trying to blow through this shit too. What they have here, I'm trying to see here. And Ultra HD DV Blu-ray allows for larger games. So you don't have to, I guess, because games are getting larger, they're getting more detailed. Textures are going to be super high res, especially with the 4K. It's going to look ridiculous. So that's shit that you need to kind of think about. So there's that. So that's wrapping up exactly what I have to offer with that. Lastly, next, I should say, we're going to talk about, if I'm not mistaken, what is it? What Ryan said. He says, we look forward to revealing more details, including the content that will be showcased on the platform and future gaming. He is talking about basically they're going to be releasing some PS5 information and games very, 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 very soon. They said in the upcoming months. So I guess our next question with this would be, when are they going to, have this actual PS5 conference where they show the actual console, controller, and stuff like that? Is it going to be February, March, April, May? I think we're looking at February, and I think in March they probably will start releasing some of the games, like specifically. Oh, I can't fucking wait. This is some big fucking news. You better believe this is like Sony's treasure right now. This is important for Sony. This is super fucking important for Sony. People don't understand how important this shit is for them. This is huge. This is like a third of the company at this point in time. So they're not going to fuck it up by releasing multi-platforms. What they want, though, is for you to get a flavor or taste of it on another hardware. You don't get the full Monty of it. The only way you get the full Monty of it is if you go to the source, the PS5 or whatever hardware, native hardware that you have, and then that's how that shit's going to work out. Let's just keep that shit 110%. That's why they're doing what they're doing. And if they can make some extra money on the side by having multiplayer games specifically for the PS5 or for other consoles or PC or whatever the case is, MLB The Show was, you couldn't help that. They wanted to keep that license. But for other shit, you know what I'm saying? That'll lure people away from those for those hardwares and then get to the main source, the bigger games. So they want to have a little small bite size. I mentioned in a video before that I believe that they're going to have an A, B, and C team. So A is the primary games. B is actually going to be kind of like future projects or new IP, stuff that's not really proven. And C is going to be like multiplayer games or co-op games that they're going to release for all platforms. They'll lure people back to the main source. That's what I believe. And next subject. This is going to be straight off the cuff, right? I noticed that Gregg Miller, which this dude is the ultimate fucking social justice warrior, and threw one of his best friends under the bus. Colin, if you're looking at this video, I am so sorry for what he did. I think it's fucked up that he's starting a podcast for PlayStation, right? That was a part of you. So he don't give a fuck about what you're doing right now. But he wants to do a whole PlayStation podcast, and he didn't even say any fucking thing to you that we can see. It would have been public. He didn't say anything. You didn't mention anything either, Colin. So I just feel like it's fucked up. And if you ever noticed, shoot, hey you, whatever, Yoshi, whatever the fuck this dude's name, Shuhei Yoshida, right? He used to fuck with Gregg Miller and teams. But Gregg Miller went on a fucking tirade about fucking what did he go? He was complaining about I can't believe that Sony won't do crossplay. I tried to play Fortnite on my Switch and I couldn't do it. It was locked behind the wall. He had that whole fucking campaign. And guess what, motherfucker? Guess what? You're never going to get no exclusive rights or exclusive pardons with Sony. They don't want to fuck with you anymore, Gregg Miller, because you're a little stabbing snake. That's how you are. So I hope you listening to this shit, and I hope you take some time to reflect. They don't want to fuck with you anymore. So you can start this podcast about, PlayStation. We love PlayStation so much, which we all knew why you canceled that shit because of the Fortnite. You didn't like that shit, and they didn't go in your favor because they eventually allow for cross-platforms. Anyway, cross-platform play. And now you want to do that to get into their good graces again so you can have your little publicity stunt, whatever. Well, fuck you. I hope they say that too. I hope they say that personally in your face. I hope Jim Ryan walks up to you with his British accent and be like, fuck you, Muppet. But anyway, that's all I have to offer. This structure of video is a little different. I think this is a little bit more. I was looking at some of the analytics for YouTube and stuff like that, and they were like, longer videos now are the end thing because the algorithms for YouTube is all fucked up. So now I can say whatever I want to say without making these videos all quickly. So that's it. Don't forget to give feedback in the comments. I'll refuse to say like, comment, or subscribe. That's up to you. If you feel it in your heart to do that shit, then you do it. But all I care about is the feedback for these videos. I would appreciate it. You guys take care. Have a great day.